Welcome everybody. Today we are going to learn statistical hypothesis testing. Statistical hypothesis testing is a very important and interesting tools in inferential statistics. So let us go. What is statistical hypothesis testing? So this is a method. So we are making inference from the sample. So statistical hypothesis, nothing but a method. We're going to infer about the sample. So this is a concern with the decision making from the data. Hypothesis test is mainly used to verify the claim that is made about the population. So we are going to making decision about the claim about the population from the sample. This is the statistical hypothesis test. The lot of procedure, lot of step. Let us go in details. So there is a long story about the statistical test. It is developed by 3 researchers. One of them is Ronald Fisher, who is a British statistician. Second one is Neyman, who is a Polish-American mathematician, also statistician. And third one is Egon S. Pearson, who is also a British statistician. The 3 researchers did the pioneer work to develop statistical hypothesis test. So we told already, statistical hypothesis test is nothing but to infer about what? About the question of interest. So you should have a question. What do you want to do? From that question, or according to question, we have to collect the data. Then we have to examine our data through some statistical method. Then you have to make a final decision. And one thing you should remember, in statistical hypothesis test, we always make a statement about the population, not about the sample. Anything we are making a statement about the population. In statistical hypothesis test, based on the sample, we have to conclude whether we have enough evidence to reject or accept a proposal or proposition about the population. So all the thing will be based on sample. Then we have to accept or reject the proposal or proposition. Suppose we want to verify the statement that smoking causes lung cancer. So this is somebody said, or something. This is already established by someone, that is smoking causes lung cancer. This is the statistical hypothesis testing first step, and we have to agree with this, and we assume that this is true, and we assuming that smoking causes lung cancer. This is a null hypothesis, which is very important part of statistical hypothesis test. Then to verify the statement, we took sample. Then based on the sample through some statistical test or procedure, then you have to make a conclusion whether smoking causes lung cancer or not. So this is the process for statistical hypothesis test. Let us go in more details. So in hypothesis testing, we have to follow some steps. And first and most important steps, we have to choose null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. After choosing the null and hypothesis, second step, we have to choose a significant level. We'll discuss in later on. Then based on our sample data, we have to calculate the test statistics. Then we have to calculate the critical region or the p-value, and number 5th, we have to make the final decision that whether we are going to accept the null hypothesis or accept the alternative hypothesis. So these are the 5 basic steps. Inside there are a lot of things, but these are the main 5 steps for statistical hypothesis test. Please remember, maybe number 2 or number 5 may be upper or lower, but these are the main 5 steps for statistical hypothesis test. Let us go in details. So null hypothesis, that is we want to test. Null hypothesis usually denoted by H naught. That is, and we always assume that it is true. An alternative hypothesis is different from the null hypothesis. That is, null hypothesis is not true. So null hypothesis, we are saying something is true and denoted by H naught, and alternative hypothesis, we are saying the null hypothesis is not true and it is denoted by HA or S subscript A or S subscript 1. So both are right. Anyone you can use, no problem. HA or H1. But normally null hypothesis always is not. For example, let us go in details. What is the null hypothesis? We want to check the average income of the inhabitants in a city is $800. So what is the null hypothesis? We have to agree. We have to agree that the average income of the inhabitants of the city is $800. That is, H naught will be mu. That is, the mean income is $800. This is the alternative hypothesis. This is the null hypothesis. And what is the alternative hypothesis? We have to say the average income is not $800 of the inhabitants. That is, HA will be mu equal to naught. That is, average income is not $800. This is the example of alternative hypothesis. So first of all, we agree the average income of the household or inhabitants of the city is $800. And that is the null hypothesis is no, and alternative hypothesis, the average income denoted by mu is not $800. So this is the example of null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. Let us take other example. Try to make yourself. I gave some hints. Suppose the average sleeping hour of the student is 5 hours. Somebody claimed that, his research or from the data, he claimed that the average sleeping hour of the student 5 hours. So what to do? First of all, we agree with this statement that the mean sleeping time of the student is 5 hours. That is mu equal to 5 hours. And alternative hypothesis, we are not agree. That is, the sleeping hour is not 5 hours. That is mu equal to not 5 hours. So null hypothesis is student sleeping hour is 5 hours, and alternative hypothesis, in word, student sleeping hour is not 5 hours. Maybe more than, maybe less than, but we are not specifying. We are saying it is not 5 hours. So please think about 5 more examples of null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. This will be helpful for you to build the hypothesis test. If you understand null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis, then easy to understand statistical test. So I gave you 2 examples. You can build a lot of examples and write yourself. Null hypothesis, you are agree with the statement, and alternative hypothesis, you are not agree with the statement. And the second step, we have to find the level of significance. That is, level of significance before going to test, we have to specify. That is denoted by alpha. Level of significance, remember, denoted by alpha. What is this? This is the probability that we are doing some error. That is something unusual. So some error, this type of error you have to specify before. So the most common used level of significance is the 5% or 0.05 and 1% or 0.01. What is the meaning of 5% level of significance or 0.05? That is 5% chance of rejecting a true null hypothesis. That is, we are doing mistakenly, we can reject a true null hypothesis 5% of time. Similarly, 1% level of significance means that we can reject a true null hypothesis 1% of time. So we are doing the mistake. Here we are doing the less mistake. 5% time we are doing more mistake. 1% time we are doing the less mistake. So this is the level of significance. We will talk still more about this. So just remember, before going to test, we have to specify our level of significance, maybe 5% and 1%, but standard is normally 5%. That is 5% time we are going to reject the null hypothesis. When it's true, you are doing 5% mistake and 1% you are doing 1% mistake. That is more accurate. Then third step, we have to calculate some statistical formula. We have to find the test statistics from the observed data, and depend on our null hypothesis, we have to use some test statistics. The most frequent test statistics are normal test, t-test, f-test, and chi-square test. There are also some other tests, but these are the most common used statistical tests that you have to calculate from the sample data. And number 4, you have to find the critical region, as I told, or p-value. Nowadays, p-value is most widely used formula or method to accept or reject a null hypothesis. P-value that you can get from the R spaces Python. We can get the p-value, and critical region is calculated from the tabulated value of the test statistic that we have calculated in step 4, whether t, whether f, whether z, or chi-square. So based on this tabulated value, we have to find the critical region, and p-value also based on the tabulated value, the test statistics, but it is easy and most widely used. And number 5, we have to make the decision. If we use the critical region, that is, we have find from the tabulated value, that is, if the test statistics greater than tabulated value, that is fall in the critical region, we have to reject the null hypothesis. So one approach is the how calculated value of test statistics is more than the tabulated value, that is, it is fall in the critical region, you have to reject the null hypothesis. And the p-value is more straightforward. If it is less than 0.05, then we have to reject the null hypothesis, that is, we accept the alternative hypothesis at 5% level of significance, or p-value less than 0.01, that is, we have to reject the null hypothesis and 1% level of significance. So p-value is straightforward. If it is less than 0.5, 0.05, we reject null hypothesis at 5% level of significance. If it is less than 0.01, we reject the null hypothesis at 1% level of significance. So remember, less than 0.5, we have to reject the null hypothesis for 5%, and less than 0.01, that is less than 1%, we have to reject the null hypothesis at 1% level of significance. So this is a two-way approach. Based on the two-way approach, we have to finally make the decision about the null hypothesis.